Doom 2 needs no introduction. It released just around a year after the first game, and the basic idea was to just give more of the same, more levels, more weapons, more monsters, but the same great gameplay and engine. But this time around, the game no longer deals with episodic content, but one straight slew of 32 levels back to back. Honestly, I prefer the first game's episodic style. It's nice to have distinct, broken up parts that give you specific context for each part of the game. It's interesting because in the first game, you couldn't carry your weapons to the next episode, so you had periodic total weapon resets. Whereas in Doom 2, once you get all the weapons, it's basically impossible to lose them, as you'll be quick saving so much. So very shortly into the game, you have every weapon and you can never get rid of them, which is an interesting gameplay change to say the least. Doom 2 introduces a new weapon, the Super Shotgun. This is one of, if not the most iconic weapon in all of video games. It's a double-barrel shotgun with a loud clacking reload sound and an extremely satisfying shooting sound effect. The original shotgun shoots something like 8 pellets per shot, but the Super Shotgun shoots 20-something pellets per shot. This means with just one pull of the trigger, you can clear out almost an entire room of lower tier enemies, which is both extremely fun, but also very effective. The other main new additions are the new monsters. Doom 2 introduces the most engaging, iconic, and action-packed monsters that in hindsight are kind of sorely missed in the first game. These monsters are the Archvile, which is a very threatening humanoid monster that both resurrects other dead enemies, but also targets a flame wall around you. And if you don't break the line of sight within the first few seconds, the flame wall deals massive damage. This monster, when cleverly placed by map makers, can completely change a dynamic of a map, and adds for lots of jump scares and challenging moments. Another new enemy, the Chain Gunner, is a bane of many players' existence. It does these hit-scanning shots, meaning it doesn't shoot slow-moving projectiles, but once it fires, the bullet will automatically guaranteed hit you after a successful RNG check. So they spray these automatic gunshots at you, and if you stand out in the open, it will absolutely shred the player in a few moments if there's more than one of them on screen. They can shoot you across the map, too. Personally, I like the Chain Gunners. They add so much new, interesting dynamic encounters to maps. It allows for map makers to make open areas intimidating, and it adds even more things the player has to watch out for to not take chunks of damage off his health. The Hell Knight is another new monster. I say new, but it's basically just a reskin of the Red Baron of Hell from the first game, just with half health and a different color. This makes it easier to place him around maps without making fights take forever. It's a smart addition because it lets players enjoy fun, projectile-based fights more often, without relying on the overly tanky barons. Then you have Revenants. This is a monster equipped with rocket launchers on his back that shoots rockets at you that even follow you around the map. These rockets are homing missiles that do not let up, unless you cleverly guide it into a wall or another monster. These encounters are really fun and engaging. It especially makes open areas even better because now you can do this sort of dance back and forth, really utilizing the speed and intensity of Doom's movement controls. Couple the Revenant's rockets with Chain Gunners, or even an Archvile, and you have yourself a really challenging, exciting, and fast-paced encounter that's only possible in Doom 2. Another new enemy is the Mancubus, which is this big blob monstrosity that also shoots multiple rockets at you, but they aren't homing. Then you have Pain Elementals, which I call spawners. These guys periodically spit out lost souls that can add up quickly, so they can be a real challenge if you don't deal with them as soon as possible. They are another really fun addition and much welcome challenge added to the maps. And last but not least, you have the Arachnatrons. Basically just mini baby spider versions of the last boss of Doom 1. A very smart addition. It allows for fast-paced fights to be introduced to the map to force you to use mobility and cover even more than before. The new monsters are brilliant. It adds so much challenging gameplay opportunities to the levels that were not before possible. It's not just a few new gimmicks thrown in because they had to. It feels very well crafted and thought out, and each monster serves a distinct purpose and adds a very fun dynamic to each area. Doom 2 mostly has a brand new soundtrack as well, and most of these songs are timeless classics, although a few of them lean more on the goofy or silly side, reminiscent of Commander Keen type stuff, since it's the same composer, Bobby Prince. There's some silly sounding trumpet/flute solos, or weird phrases of MIDI instrumentation, which kinda sounds lame and stupid sometimes. At times it makes you think of clown carnival music, more than intense, scary, threatening soundscapes.
Did you hear me? Billy, got to eat your vegetables. And there's Commander.
I mean, I wouldn't really change a thing about it. It is what it is. It certainly adds character and charm to the game, but it must be noted nonetheless. Sadly, it's not all great new additions though. While the first 10 or so levels are brilliant masterpieces, there are quite a few blunders and far too much experimentation with gimmicks in Doom 2. A lot of the times with these new maps, it feels like they were thinking, just how far can we push this engine here with these map designs? More so than wanting to craft interesting gameplay areas. For instance, the first questionable map, Map 9, The Pit, is a series of gigantic vertical elevators and series of switches that open remote walls elsewhere in the map that require constant back and forth, up and down backtracking that can get a bit frustrating and boring to navigate. It's like they wanted to test how vertical they can make things with the engine. It only gets worse from here too. You have maps like Map 13, Downtown, which is an infamous Sandy Peterson map. This is Doom's attempt to make a city level, of all things. You have this big outdoors area with a dozen or so giant building complexes you can enter, but the whole thing is laid out in such a mindfuck way none of it really makes any sense, and is a total pain in the ass to navigate. It's so bad that even the developer had to put a giant arrow on the ground, trying to point the player to where to go. It's just not a very fun map. And even after multiple playthroughs, it still takes me like 30 plus minutes to get through it, mostly running in circles, not even fighting monsters, but looking for the next cryptic passage I have to go through to progress. There's multiple experimental outdoors levels too, like Map 15 is much of the same idea as Downtown, but this time it's made by John Romero, but it's equally full of cryptic bullshit, like moments where you have to press a mandatory secret wall, which reveals the blue keycard. Just why? It looks like a random ordinary wall, but it's required to progress. It's just stupid and waste your time. You even have to somehow know to jump into a pit of damaging lava, to run across the map and go into a teleporter in the corner to progress. It's just nonsensical bullshit like this that wastes your time and makes the maps even more annoying than they should have been. Oh, and the maps are ugly as sin too. Since they are experimenting with the limits of the engine and opt for scope over fidelity and impressive well-crafted environments, a lot of the maps end up looking like this giant boxy ugly set pieces in order to accomplish these wild experiments. Other maps, like Map 19, Citadel, is yet another attempt at this outdoors/indoors concept. This time it's a giant castle. This map looks pretty cool, and is conceptually a good idea, it's just the execution sucks. It's more of this where the fuck do I go kind of thing, where you will be spending more time running in circles, doing nothing, rather than fighting enemies. Mandatory progress routes, hidden behind bullshit secret walls, random ass teleports, nonsensical platforming sections, and so on. Some of the decisions with these maps are just mind-boggling and just not fun to play through sometimes. Map 24, The Chasm, is infamously shit too. It's another Sandy Peterson map. Well, half the game is Sandy Peterson. This map is a giant vertical tightrope over a pit of death. You spend the whole map slowly inching around these pencil-thin tightropes, all the while being attacked by lost souls and hit scanner chain gunners, having to jump into death pits or mandatory progress to find random teleports. It's just more nonsensical progress routes and keycard locations. It's bad and obnoxiously annoying to get through every single time. And then you have other maps like number 28, Spirit World, which is full of more heinous bullshit. Like there's a wall in here that looks like every other wall, but you somehow have to know to shoot it, not press it, for it to open up the mandatory progress path. What the fuck? Why would anyone ever put that in the game? The first time I played this map, I ran around for literally an hour, desperately trying to find what to do. Eventually I had to look it up, and when I found that's what you had to do, I just facepalmed and stared in disbelief. That's not the only shit part of the map either. The rest of the map is full of nonsensical stuff, like the throne room part, where you have to do some obscure cryptic shit to open a mandatory wall that I just forget now. Maybe the map is called Spirit World because the basic laws of physics and logic don't apply? Sure. but it doesn't exactly make for a fun gameplay experience. At least you have these epic battles with cyber demons and stuff, and all sorts of hordes of enemies coming at you, and you can grab a god mode to deal with them. It's not all bad, just some of the progress routes are abysmally stupid. The other maps are more or less average to okay. Like I said, the first 10 maps are amazing. If only the rest of the game was like that. It just feels like after those first 10 maps, they lean hard into experimenting with the engine side of things, and a lot of the experiments fall flat and suck to play. Still, Doom 2 is a classic game, even if for the new monster editions and the super shotgun. It added great content for the modding scene and custom map scenes. It has to be praised for that alone, but the actual maps in the campaign are oftentimes disappointing and downright annoying. The last quote-unquote boss is iconic though. The Icon of Sin is this arena stage where enemies keep spawning all around you by a giant cube flying out of a goat face on the wall. You hear a creepy demon voice that is actually John Romero's voice, reversed, saying, "To beat the game, you must kill me, John Romero," which is pretty amazing.
To win the game, you must kill me, John Romero.
You have to grab the rocket launcher and go up on the elevator platform and shoot the rocket at just the right time to shoot inside the goat's head, beating the game. Maybe the first time playing this map, it's another instance of cryptic bullshit, thus makes it for an annoying map, but it's such an iconic and amazing concept and design that I can't even fault it for it. Also, the fact that John Romero's head is hidden inside of the wall is just priceless too. 7 out of 10.